Hello everybody and welcome back to Emily's Upcycled Home. Please shop my items on Facebook Marketplace with the link in the description. Follow me on my business page for updates, reels, and new items. Like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget that notification bell for more DIY videos. So we're just going to jump in here, and this video is all about pumpkins and fall decor. And I know I'm going from Christmas to fall to I'm just a hot mess and doing all this decor not in order, but I'm just going to do me, and whatever I feel like crafting, I'm just going to go ahead and craft. So we're going to do the first set of pumpkins here, and I'm just going to come in with my Fusion paint color in the Noel and my Fusion paint Stall Master brush, and I'm going to go ahead and paint up all these pumpkins. And I'm doing this larger one and the two smaller ceramic ones, and that will be a set. And then the other two newspaper ones that I'm going to recover here with some book pages will be a different set with probably a little sign with it. But I'm going to come over here and coat these, and we're just going to go ahead and let those dry. And these are the newspaper ones I found in my stash. Now it looks like I already used them for something. I don't know. I'm just finding stuff everywhere, you guys. But I'm going to come in very heavily with the Mod Podge, and I have a vintage newspaper sheet here that I'm just going to rip up and just kind of paste and decoupage this to the outer layer of these little foam pumpkins. Now, if you saw the pear video, it's kind of the same theory here, same idea, but we're going to go ahead and use these little pumpkins and a dictionary page here. Now, I'm just coming in very heavily with my Mod Podge and with my brush here and just ripping up small little pieces of that vintage book sheet, dictionary book sheet actually. Now, I'm not going to worry about full coverage because I do want some of that other book page print to kind of be exposed there, but we're going to go ahead and just continue the process of layering up these book pages until our pumpkin is covered and how we like it. So here are our pumpkins already covered, and I'm just coming in with my finger and kind of flattening the parts that are kind of, poking up or whatever you want to call it. And then I'm going to come in with some greenery, these little pine cones that I got from a jar filler assortment. And then I'm just going to come in with my scissors and clip off the greenery that I want. And of course, coming in with my hot glue gun to glue everything down. We're going to go ahead and do that as well. And like always, I went ahead and made some little bows to add to the tops of these little pumpkins. And then we're going to come in with some little, tags here that are associated with kind of fall. So they're not going to say pumpkin or anything like that. I think one tag's saying sweater and one tag says bonfire or something like that. Just like a word association of fall, I guess. And these little tags here I printed out on my computer on cardstock, and I got the prints actually from Etsy. So I'll go ahead and try to link those in the description as well. And I'm just going to go ahead and come in with that second pumpkin and do the same layering technique with my hot glue, the greenery, the pine cone, and the bow, and the little tag. And I do decide to come back in because the tags are kind of popping up. So I went ahead and glued a little dot of hot glue to the bottoms of the tags, and I glued them to the base of the pumpkin just so that they'll stay in place and they're not kind of flopping up. And for the second part of this little project that's coming in a set, we're just going to go ahead and paint this in that same Noel color. This is just like a large kind of tag kind of wood piece. And we're going to go ahead and paint this with the one layer, and then we'll come back in and decorate it. And off camera, if I need a second layer, I'll go ahead and do that. But we're going to go ahead and paint this, and then we're going to let that dry. Now coming back to our first pumpkins here, this actually has two coats of that Noel color, and then I'm coming in with the Behr dark wax, and I'm just gonna go ahead layer all that into the creases here, darkening up the pumpkin and giving it a little bit more definition and a little bit of grunginess. And I'm going to come in here in a little bit and mix my clear wax with my dark wax just to go over the whole pumpkin, because I want that Behr wax to really seal. So I'm going to use that DIY dark wax and mix those two together just to give me that same brown tone that I want here. And then I'm like always, you're going to wipe on and then wipe off all the excess. And if you need to go over it again into the creases, adding more because you wipe too much off, you can go ahead and do that. But I'm just going to work with it and just layering up and just adding as I go wherever I feel I want it. And then I probably come in here and once again wipe some of that excess wax off, a little bit more gentler. And then there you have it. And I'm going to repeat that same process on the two smaller pumpkins, layering up that antique wax and wiping off the excess. Now, once again, if you need to come in with some more wax, do so. But now we're going to go ahead and we're going to embellish our pumpkins here. Now I'm going to start off with this floral wire, and it's a brown floral wire. And then I'm going to come in with these leaves that I got from a rose bud stem, and I'm just going to go ahead and hot glue everything to the top of the pumpkin. And I didn't really think about the wax and the hot glue, but the product stays there. So as I hold it, it stays into place and seals. And then I'm going to go ahead and come in with some of these mini pine cones. And once again, this bag is just filler, candle filler. I buy all that stuff just to use as decor elements in my projects, as well as candles if I need to. And then once again, we're going to come in with our pen, just like on the other projects, and make our little trindles for the top of our pumpkins. Now, instead of adding a tag to these, I go ahead and come in with some little like buds of flowers. And I'm just add one little bud just to break up like all these greens and browns here and add a little bit of texture and definition other than the green and brown. So I go in here, and this is a little floral bud that I'm going to use, and I just trim off one piece because I think one is good enough here. And I'm going to go ahead and hot glue that piece to the top right next to the little what are they called, pine cones. And then once again, I'm going to repeat the process on the smaller ones, doing the same thing. And I thought that orange flower was going to work here. Although I loved the color combination that it gave, the rose was really too big for the piece. So I went ahead and did the same process as the other one, doing that little bud, and then again coming in and twirling those little trindles up. And those are our 3 pumpkins there. And I decide once I put all these pieces together that I'm just going to incorporate it and sell it as a set and layer that up together. So you guys will see the finished product. I think all together as a set, it looks really pretty. So I'm going to sell it as a set. But first I'm going to come in here and we're going to finish up our little tag. And I'm just coming in once again with that mixture of the clear wax and the antique wax. And we're going to age up this piece, going around heavier around the edges with my brush, and then we're going to pull in and wipe off the excess. And I only put wax around the edges because I want the inner side to just be that paint, because I am going to come in here and add a transfer to that. So here I'm just rubbing in and taking off the excess of that piece. Then I'm going to come in with the Holly Glen transfer from IOD. And I'm going to pick out a image here to go ahead and put onto our little tag or large tag here. And then I go ahead and pick the 2 little foxes on the bottom of this page. And I go ahead and just cut out that transfer I'm going to use. And that's what we're going to apply to our tag here. I'm just going to place this in the center the best I can. You remove the backing and you place that piece onto your product, and then with the stick that IOD gives you, you go ahead and rub that transfer in. And right here I'm just showing you how easy it is. You can rub with your finger and the product is still coming off onto my piece. But like I said, you get a little stick, so go ahead and use that. Rub your transfer on and pull off the backing. And you want to make sure that your paint is dry, or else you're going to make a mess with your transfer. It's not going to stick properly and it's just going to pull off. So I'm just coming in with that tool, and as I'm rubbing that transfer on, I'm pulling slowly the backing up, making sure that all of it adheres to the piece. And then you want to take your piece and varnish it, and you want to make sure you use the proper side, because one is smooth and one seems to just make a mess for me. And I don't know what's going on here. I'm pulling up the transfer, but it's okay. I'm just going to go ahead and place that in. And instead, because I'm so rough with that plastic, I'm going to go ahead and use my finger here and press into that transfer. And to age up the surrounding parts of this piece, we're going to go ahead and come back in with our brush and our antique wax mix here with the clear wax, and go around the edges and go into those pieces where I accidentally pulled off. For whatever reason it came off, I'm not sure. But we're going to go ahead and just add some more of that wax there, deepening the tone and giving it more of an aged look here. And then, like always, you want to come back in and wipe off all that excess wax. Remember, a little wax goes a long way, so you put too much, it's going to take forever to dry, and you're going to be left with this tacky, wax layer, filming kind of layer. So you want to be very light. And here, once again, I made a mess because I don't have no paper towels or anything, and I'm using some toilet paper. But don't use toilet paper, you guys. The lint balls get stuck in your piece. And then I'm just going to come in here with some DIY clear wax, and I'm just going to seal in that transfer with my finger because that's what I have on hand right now. And we're going to go in and wipe off the excess, and I'm going to go grab a rag for that so that I don't have another mess with the toilet paper. But I'm just going to come in and put that wax on, like I said, with my finger, and then we'll go ahead and wipe off the excess. So here I found my brush, so I'm just going to come in and I'm going to just blend in that wax a little bit better. And like I said, we'll come back in and wipe off that excess. And I'm just coming in with the sock that lost its pair, and I'm just going to use that as my rag here. Socks seem to work well for me because I have a lot of missing pairs in socks, so after they're done, they just go in the trash. Or you can wash them and reuse them. Don't forget to catch me live every Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time over on my Facebook business page. And here are the finished products. Don't forget to leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of these pieces. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one.